Greetings. Ooh, man. And this video is not about beliefs, but I have to start it off with a premise, and it is the seed behind this issue and debate. And unfortunately, Westerners are really bad. They are like spineless jellyfish. They're really aggressive, but they're passive aggressive. And they don't like debate. I like confrontation. They think when you use the word debate to somebody that speaks English, especially all Americans, especially Canadians and Australians, and especially Europeans, they hear the word debate and they think argument, like rah, 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 rah. Everybody thinks they are their beliefs, by the way. Before getting into debate, you have to do like a tiny intro here. I am my feelings, opinions, and beliefs, and this is who I am. And if you say what I believe is wrong, this is the reason for 98%, actually a little bit more than that, of the world's drama, suffering, and strife. Because everybody thinks they are their beliefs. How dare you attack that? That's who I am. It's like, no, you believe this, and I'm giving you facts and or logical reasonings and or possibly, depending on what it is, evidences as to why you're wrong. I'm actually not attacking you. You seem like a nice, fine person, but what you said is demonstrably incorrect. There was actually an interesting post last night I got a bunch of anger over. And somebody, I think it was like maybe some sort of radical vegan, and someone sent me a link to it. It was on Instagram, and this guy was lecturing. And he said, all leather products are fake. He said, fake. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, it's full of chemicals and blah, 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 this and that. And it's like, leather tanning has been around for like millions of years, as long as human beings have been around. And they didn't have chemicals back then. The whole world is full of chemicals. Everything is natural, including cyanide and arsenic. Those are still natural, even though they're deadly poison. There's different types of leather tanning. There's like chrome tan, veg tan. Veg tan is vegetable tanning. It's all natural. Brain tan, nothing could be more natural than brain tanning, right? And I said, that is wrong. What this guy's saying is not my feeling. It's a hardcore lie. Oh, man. I don't know if they were like radical vegetarians or whatever. Man, people are like, "Arr, arr, 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 arr." It's like, no, it's not my feeling that I'm right. I'm a leather worker, and I actually know what I'm talking about. And this guy lecturing is like a video of a lecture. It's just a flat-out hardcore lie. Perfect example. No one is interested in discussing the facts. People that, of course, once again, you only get flack when you're over the target. You're approaching accuracy. The world right now, more than any other time in history that I could think of, there's no recorded evidence of the world, especially Western society, being more upside down and backwards and having their head firmly rammed up their backside and sniffing farts inside their own nutshell than right now. And this is the reason why you can't have a rational discussion with anybody anymore. It used to be, you encounter like, well, that person's crazy, they're just irrational. You can't reason with them. Remember when they used to say that like 20, 30 years? You can't reason with them. And by the way, if you have kids, you should really listen to this. It'll make your kids so much better than any other kid. It's one of the most useful things. Not only is homeschooling important, it's the most useful thing. Not only learning retroduction and nonlinear thinking methodologies, but easily the most important thing, your kids learn about fallacies and debates. What a real debate is. Yeah? A formal, logical debate where you have claims, substantiations, evidences, and conclusions. It's so important. They don't teach this stuff in junior high, elementary school. It's the most important thing of all. There's so much BS in this world. There always has been. Learning about fallacies and formal debate and weeding out fallacies, like bandwagon fallacies. Like, what's wrong with it? Everybody's doing it. Can't be wrong. What's a bandwagon fallacy? What's that? Well, you made this bandwagon fallacy. You said something's accurate because you got a lot of stupid people that do the same thing or believe in the same thing. I tell you this with all my heart, that I should drop dead right now if I'm not telling you the absolute truth, and that every kid whether they be homeschooled or not, needs to learn about fallacies and debate. So important. It's absolutely #1 thing. Anyway, everybody's suffering from belief issues. Like, this is who I am. This is me. It's like, no, that's your beliefs. Say somebody has a lot of strong beliefs, and people used to call them opinionated. In other words, they're just full of opinions rather than facts. You know, they get in a car accident and scrambles their brain. It's like, well, that person's dead. Like, no, they're not. They survived the car accident. He's like, yeah, but all his beliefs and convictions, you know, were lost when he had a brain trauma. You know, scrambled his brain, and he forgot who he was for a while. He can't remember a lot of stuff. He remembers his name and his parents, but that person died even though they're physically fine now. You are not your belief systems. It makes life so much easier if you actually cleave to the truth. Once again, that old saying, there's only 3 things that can be hidden for so long: the sun, the moon, and the truth. There's never been a point in history where understanding fallacies and debates has been more important, because literally everybody is living in a nutshell, sniffing their own flatulence. Not literally, but I think you know what I'm saying. People are just, people are more unreasonable now than ever. More unreasonable. It's like, well, if you can't, and there's a very important saying you should repeat to other people. You should remember this saying, by the way. Are you paying attention? To whoever it is, the other person you're having a discussion with, or a debate, a formal debate, not like rah, 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 rah. Well, if you can't debate it intelligently and discuss the facts, or at least the reasoning behind it, then you both don't understand it, or your position is so weak that you resort to ad hominems. Ad hominem means, you know, your cousin saying, yeah, bleep you and bleep this and blah, blah. Ad hominem. That's a fallacy too, of course. And by the way, the most intelligent writings that have ever been written, that still exist, we have access to anyway, everybody's asked me that, are the Anions of Plotinus. Plotinus didn't just sit down and write the Anions. Blah, blah, blah. Porphyry, his disciple, tells everybody. The Anions of Plotinus, and it's enigma wrapped inside of riddles, inside of a mystery. And not only is it ancient Greek, it's ancient Greek shorthand, it's ancient Greek shorthand, hardcore monistic metaphysics. It is complicated stuff. I mean, it is tough stuff. Most people, like, their eyeballs cross and their brains implode trying to read it. The Enneads are a collection of lectures given over and over and over and over and over again over X number of years by Plotinus. They were honed and refined. You know, like this grinder back here, I use this for leather, you know, but the same thing is used for finishing out a blade. You ever seen the blade movies where they get a piece of steel, they got to melt it, you know, they make a form for a blade, and they turn on the belt sander. There we go, and the sparks are flying. Plotinus's Enneads are exactly like that. The sword, which is just raw steel inside your brain of what you understand, is unfortunately full of belief systems and a lot of other garbage. You need to hone that. You want to make your mind like a fine sword. The same way the Enneads of Plotinus were honed and perfected over X number of years by Plotinus. Because he got attacked like, well, what you say there doesn't make sense because boom, 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 boom. Plotinus, to be sure, was wrong on X number of points. We'll never know for sure. We're lucky we still have the Enneads today to refer to. By the way, the Enneads are the secret source of every Christian mystic throughout all of history. Every single one. Every piece of Christian mysticism that people love was written by somebody that was reading the Anions of Plotinus. Fact. They were honed, yeah, by giving lectures and debates by Plotinus himself. Well, Plotinus was like, you know, I need to rethink that. You know, the other guy might have been right. Honed and honed and honed. Everybody's born with a slab of steel in their brain, formation of a sword, knife. It needs to be honed, needs to be perfected. Debate is so, that is not taught today at all. So not only do we have an issue where everybody is an opinionated fool today, everybody's just sniffing their own flatulence inside of a nutshell. I don't want to hear what you got to say. Nah. You know, you're attacking me. No, I'm not attacking you. You actually said boom. And I said that's incorrect because of facts, logic, evidence, boom, 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 boom. That's not you. That's not who you are. That's not even the person you see in the mirror. That is your doxa. Yeah? Opinions. I think, I feel, I believe. These are the three things nobody should ever say unless it has to do with your loved one, your family, your wife, your husband. Never say these words, by the way. Ever, ever, ever. Unless it's to a family member. I think, I feel, I believe. Remember that. I think, I feel, I believe. And remember the other thing I just said a few minutes ago. Tell somebody, it's like, arguing with you. Say, if you can't debate it calmly and intelligently with facts and or reasoning, because when it comes to hardcore monistic metaphysics, there's no objective fact, like, here it is, fact, blah, 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 there we go. See right there, I got the fact right here. I almost stuck that up my nose. Look, here's the fact. There's no objective facts, but there has to be reason and logic behind what you're saying. This, of course, is the reason for the ancient lost art of retroduction. There's an ancient art of debating and fallacies. Remember these two things. In a debate, you either concede or you conquer. Gautama, who's a Scythian, by the way. Sakyamuni means Scythian sage in ancient Pali, but people think, that was his name, Sakyamuni Buddha. It's like, no, Sakyamuni means Scythian sage. He hung out, in any translation, he hung out in debating halls. He'd go from one city to another, to another, to another, to another. Kapilavastu, this is the same thing. Same thing. Same thing Plotinus did in honing his Anions. That Gautama did. Plotinus and Gautama, the historical Buddha people refer to. By the way, Buddha's not a psychophysical person. They did the same thing. They went to debating halls. Discussed it, refined it. They were constantly sharpening the metal of their mind on the belt sander or the sanding wheel of other people having debate, until it became so sharp that no one else stood a chance against it. But you're not trying to make it sharp against others. You're trying to refine it. It's like, I was wrong about that point. I need to adjust it. Your entire basis of something might be entirely wrong. And then you have to, like in the sword making series of TV, they get halfway through making the sword or the knife and they have to throw it away. The steel's bad. I need to start over from scratch. You're going to have to reject everything. Like, I was totally wrong. I'm a truth seeker. Turns out I was wrong. That's excellent. Here's something else that's really important. Here's what someone that loves wisdom and has wisdom understands. If you're proven right, then you know you're on the right path and continue on. If you're proven wrong, I was wrong. That was just my opinions and beliefs, but I've been corrected by facts, logic, wisdom, and evidences. Then you've been brought on the right path. So whether you're proven right or whether you're proven wrong, you're corrected to be put on the right path. Every kid should learn this. It's never too late to learn debate. Everybody should read up on fallacies. This is what academicians and your useful idiots will do. They always run and hide, or they'll throw spitballs at you from the dark. Tui! And they'll say, I won't debate you on this. Like, you won't debate me because you have nothing that supports your position. No facts, logic, or wisdom. Evidences. They'll block you. They'll castigate you. They'll lie. They'll present unrelated points as proofs. I was talking about this in a video like a couple weeks ago. They'll present you, this is a really tricky way to do it. They'll present you these facts, boom, 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 undeniable, that's facts. But then they'll paint a big lie of the story based around true facts. So you have, the facts are true, but the story is a lie. It's very subtle. This is how more intelligent, evil people work. They'll tell you the truth, but then the whole story is a lie. See, I gave you all the evidences. These are undeniable facts that you can look up. But they'll say that supports a story, which is a lie. And I learned this ages and ages ago, especially online. When you're debating a fool, you're not debating the fool. Rather, you're the thousands of people that are watching, the hundreds of people that are watching. You're reaching the hundreds or thousands. They can see that you're on the right side of this. One example among many countless hundreds of examples I use. I'm the #1 expert in the world on the term and the meaning and the usage of the term anato or anatman. I'll say this is how it is. Book, verse, citation, boom, boom, boom. Written many articles about it. I am literally, not egotistically, literally the world's foremost expert on that topic. There's nobody on this earth that could debate me on it. I've debated them for decades now. Always won because I have the facts, logic, and evidence as mine. They will fume and spit and block you and castigate you, meaning me. Lie, 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 lie. They have nothing. There is nothing that backs them up. It's like the emperor's new clothes. It's all a lie. You know, everybody sees the emperor's new clothes. Oh, God, he's naked, of course. Oh, God, your beautiful new clothing there, emperor. And the little kid, you know, licking the lollipop. He's naked! You know. Truth, was it truth from, there's a saying about truth emanating from young children. And the children shall tell you the truth. You're not debating the fool, rather the teachings, teaching the 1,000 or 100 people, whatever it may be, that are watching you. Demons and fools will resort to personality attacks rather than facts on a subject. Remember, it goes claim, substantiation, evidences, and conclusions. First, of course, you make a statement of theory or premise. Then you give the claim. You make the substantiation with evidences and make the conclusions. They'll block you. They'll personally attack you. Ad hominems and fallacies. No. Isolation leads to ignorance. Everybody, never been a point in time where more people were living in a nutshell sniffing their own flatulence than now. And everybody thinks they are this little crazy little belief system. You need to learn the ancient art of debate. And debate isn't fighting, you know. No. It's engaging the dialectic. And there's the finest philosophy and metaphysics that's ever come out of this world has been due to debate. Case of Gautama traveling from like Kapilavastu to all over Magadha Valley, a bunch of little cities and towns showing it. That was the ancient form of movies, by the way. People would show up and watch two masters, you know, debate. One would decimate the other. It's like, well, this guy's got it going on. Ancient form of entertainment. Also, too, it wised the people up. This is the reason why the best metaphysics and philosophy came out of those who debated. Plotinus, the Neoplatonists, the Platonists, the Pythagoreans, Gautama. They all hung out at debating halls. They honed their skills. The raw steel inside their mind. They sharpened it. So you should learn about this and also to separate yourself up from belief systems. That's really hard for most people. But to grow in wisdom, it's absolutely necessary. I hope you like this video. If you do, any donations are always warmly welcome. You can contact me via my email in the description just below this video. Lux Veritas.